FTMO and Funding Talent are two of the biggest prop trading firms right now in the market. And as the industry has blown up, there's been so many different prop firms just coming out of the woodworks. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about the two major players in the industry, FTMO and Funding Talent, how they compare against each other, and what changes they both made to their business models over the last year. So if you're interested in finding out which is the better of the two prop trading firms, video to the end. So without further ado, let's go. Hi guys, Any aka the Not Trader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. Remember to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that alert button to get alerts on all my latest videos. So it's been a while since I made the original FTMO vs Funded Talent video, and it's actually one of my most watched videos. I actually called it Funded Talent, not Funding Talent. I need to change that. But yeah, it's one of my most watched videos. And I saw there was an appetite in the market to really review funded trading programs, and so did everyone else. Since I made that video, everyone has been making review videos. Not to say I started it, but I started it. And I thought I'd make an update because it's been nearly a year since I made the original FTMO vs Funded Talent video, and a lot has changed. As you can see, both FTMO and Funding Talent have updated their website, updated their business models, and really just gone far and beyond to change their programs to alleviate some of the problems that people were having with both programs. So in this video, I'm going to go through the different type of models that you can undergo if you want to get funded, and then also talk about the gaps in each of these companies and where they fill these gaps over the last year. So without further ado, let's go. So before I get into it, I just wanted to admire the changes that Funding Talent has made. I love the new logo, the new website. There's a lot of improvement that's been made since the Forex Tips 101 days. As you can see here, they've actually really made their website really sleek. I like the green color scheme, and just aesthetically the website looks more legit. I think one of my biggest qualms when I first heard about Funding Talent was that when I saw the website, I wasn't sure about it, and I thought maybe they're a bit scammy just because of the way the website looked, and that can be a big thing, especially on first impressions. But I like all the changes they've made to aesthetically to the website. Nothing to do with trading, but I just thought I'd get my marketer's hat on and give them their kudos on the rebrand. So as you know, when FTMO first started, they had the two-step challenge. Step 1, you have to make 10% in 30 days. And step 2, you have to make 5% in 60 days. And if you pass those two challenges, then you get access to another demo account where you could trade, and whatever you made, you'd get a profit split with. Simple, right? Well, Funding Talent actually went about it a different way originally. They had the Talent Flex. It wasn't called that at the time, but it was just the Funded Talent program. And what they were doing was that rather than make you go through two-step authentication, 2 stages before you can get access to an account where you can make profit, they said, scrap that from the beginning. We're just going to give you bi-weekly payouts. Now, the catch is you don't have to do any challenges, but whatever you make on that demo account, you only get to keep 10% of that. So if you made £10,000, you get to keep £1,000. But at least you get it straight away. You get it every 2 weeks. So if someone wanted to just earn some capital straight away, that was the way to do it with Funded Talent. Now, the only issue was that with that business model, you could get access to a bigger account with bigger capital, but it'll take a while. It'll take nearly 3 months to really get enough capital to trade worthwhile on the live account, because whatever you're making on this flex account, you'd be a portion of that profit would go into the live account. And once that live account hit about 15k, that's when you could trade with that account and keep a higher percentage of the profit. So back to FTMO. The challenge was a great business model. The only issue that I found as well myself and other people mentioned, was that you couldn't hold over weekends, and that meant that a lot of trading strategies that involved swing trading that meant people could hold positions 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, people couldn't do because you had to close out all your positions by Friday. So FTMO introduced FTMO Swing. So this solved the issue for swing traders, but the only issue was that you didn't get the same amount of leverage that you would with the normal FTMO account. They'd cut your leverage by a third. So instead of getting 100 to 1 leverage, you get 30 to 1 leverage, which isn't great. But I can understand why FTMO do this. I guess they're trying to mitigate their own risk and not make themselves overexposed, just in case there's massive slippage over the weekend due to news or something like that. So there's a bit of a give and take. If you want to swing with FTMO, you have to forego a third of the leverage that you have access to, which is basically saying foregoing a third of the capital. Now, Funding Talent, they decided that they realized that people that are a bit more impatient, that don't want to wait a certain amount of months to build equity into accounts, they offered the similar business model to fund FTMO, which was 2 steps verification. One step you have to get 8%, another step you have to get, I believe, 4%, and then if you pass, then you get access to capital. And I think it was clever on both their parts. FTMO, by offering swing, they kind of allowed some of the traders that are swing traders not to look elsewhere. And Funding Talent, by offering the typical challenge, it kept traders that were more impatient, that didn't want to wait a couple of months to build equity into their accounts, and they knew it was a tried and tested business model because FTMO had done it. So in this part of the video, I'm going to be comparing FTMO's challenge account with Funding Talent's challenge account. With FTMO, you get access to a maximum of $400,000 in capital allocation per person. You also have to hit a 10% profit target for the first stage of the challenge. As you know, there's 2 steps to the challenge. So you need to do the challenge stage, which is the first step where you have to make 10%, and the verification stage, which is the second part where you need to make 5% in 60 days. And the 10% part is in 30 days. They have pretty fair medium spreads. I think the spreads are fair. And you can trade on MT4, MT5, or C Trader. I've highlighted MT5 in yellow here because it's a new addition as of recording this video, where you can trade with them as well. I personally prefer C Trader, as you all know, but it's great that they've offered MT5 as well. You cannot hold your positions over weekends, though you can with the FTMO Swing account. That would be foregoing a third of your buying power. So if you want to trade with a normal FTMO account, you cannot hold your positions over the weekend. You also have a 70-30 profit split, so you keep 70% and FTMO will keep 30% of all profits made. And you can trade a select number of stocks. I actually made a video when they introduced some of these stocks. So you can trade stocks like Tesla, I believe Netflix. There's a few stocks you can trade, and I believe they're adding more to the roster as we go along. And with FTMO, you also have a scaling plan. So what incentivizes people to keep trading with FTMO after they build a lot of capital is that if you make 2.5% per month for 4 consecutive months, they'll increase your capital allocation by 25%, I believe. Now with FTMO, you have a maximum access to $300,000 of capital allocation. The first step of the challenge, you only need to make 8% profit, and there's 2 steps to the challenge, similar to FTMO. It's 30 days and 60 days for each of the stages, with the 30-day stage meaning you have to make 8%, and the 60-day stage meaning you have to make 4%. Now, Funding Talent have median spreads. Once again, highlighted in yellow because this is something new. I previously made a video just talking about the Funding Talent spread and the fact that they've introduced their own server now to their system, which kind of mitigates some of the issues that people were having with the fact that there was really large spreads on some of the brokers that they were using, and they were also using a few brokers that were unregulated. Now that they've consolidated everything, and now for the challenge stage and the verification stage, they'll use their own. You're using their own server and their own broker, and for the live account elite stage, you'll get, I believe it's Blackball as a broker, which is a reputable broker. Funding Talent only allow you to trade on MT4, and this is a bit of an issue for me personally because I really hate MT4, and there's no way of avoiding it because most of the prop trading firms use MT4, and it's the most used trading platform in the market. It has a worse user experience. I believe C Trader is the way, is the future. So if you're listening, anyone at Funding Talent, get C Trader. You can also hold positions over the weekend, which is the biggest sticking point for Funding Talent. I think this is the biggest differentiating factor for people that use Funding Talent over FTMO, that you can hold your positions over the weekend and you still get to maintain the high leverage that you have with the normal account. Funding Talent also offer an 80-20 profit split, which is more advantageous than FTMO. but they're not yet in a position where they're offering stocks. I don't think they will be for a while, because FTMO have been around for a while, and it's only now that they've recently started introducing stocks. I don't see that in Funding Talent's roadmap, but that'll be something that'll be well received by the public if they offer that as well. And Funding Talent also have a scaling plan. Let me get over there. Now, Funding Talent also have a scaling plan, which is probably more advantageous than FTMO's. So the scaling plan is when you have to only achieve 3% profit for 2 months, 2 out of 3 months. So it doesn't have to be consecutive. If you achieve 3% in month 1 and month 3, you still eligible to get a scaling plan, which is 25% growth of your account as well. So yeah, overall, I think the major changes for FTMO is that they've introduced MT5. You can now trade over weekends with the FTMO Swing account, and they've introduced stocks. Now for Funding Talent, while they've made the challenge a little bit easier than FTMO by making it 2% lower, and they've also mitigated some of the issues with the spread by consolidating all of the brokers into one and using their own server and their own broker. Funding Talent also have a better profit split system, 80-20, but I think that they could add a couple more trading platforms to their offerings, such as MT5 and CTrader. And holding over weekends is something really great that Funding Talent do, and I love the fact that you can hold over weekend while maintaining the same leverage that you have. And they do not offer stocks, but FTMO do. So in conclusion, I feel like the competition is really narrowing between these two firms, and I don't think any of the other ones. I think it's these two and then everyone else, in my opinion, just because of the way that what they're offering in comparison to some of these other trading platforms. I would employ anyone that wants to choose a trading platform, and if it's all about capital, just look at how much capital allocation they offer you and what leverage they offer you. Because there's no point having 2-3 million pounds or dollars in capital and the leverage is like 1 to 3 or 1 to 2. So really look at that, and I believe that FTMO and Funding Talent offered some of the best buying power out there, and a fair challenge that most people can pass if you're a good trader, and they continuously are making improvements. I think spurred on by competition with each other, which is good for us as the retail traders that gets benefit from these. So yeah, this is my update. This is my 2021 update on FTMO Funding Challenge, and let me know if there's anything I missed out or which one you're trading with and why in the comment section below. So it's Any, aka the Not Trader, signing out.